Pow Wow, yo, yippee, yay, guys. Pound number 31, and I'm super excited to be with you guys. In this special episode today, we're going to talk about Avalanche and more importantly, an investment deal that's happening within SwissBorg, Suzaku. Suzaku is one of the key players helping to secure the digital space of layer ones of Avalanche. And for this, we're going to dive into it with the founders. We're talking about really what is their token, and this great alpha opportunity is going to be only reserved for the people within the SwissBorg network tomorrow. As you guys know, my name is Cyrus. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg. We're here to serve you. Guys, could it be more excited than being with the founders of Suzaku, Gauthier and Leo? Very, very excited to have you. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having us, Cyrus. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Very, very happy to hear. So for those who haven't met yet, Leo and Gauthier, we actually were touring together. Was it this year or last year? I think so. Last year.
Yeah, this year.
It was this year.
Beginning
this year.
It was the beginning of this year, exactly. And talking about like how Avalanche, I think this is just when we added Avalanche chain. And that got a lot of excitement, and I'm talking about you guys and how now this has evolved. So it's very, very nice to connect the dots, and be able to get to talk about what's happening. And for those who don't know yet what Suzaku is, I think so this is a great opportunity to discover how these brilliant founders, who they are, what they're doing, and how this new token and within their ecosystem is going to change the game of Avalanche. Maybe as first thing, Leo and Gauthier, please, introduce yourselves.
Yeah, maybe I can take this one. So Gauthier and I, we have a software engineering background. We used to work in the same company as a big data solutions architect, like infrastructure experts. And we got started into crypto through a colleague that introduced us to Avalanche. Right around the launch of Avalanche on mainnet. And what's funny is that for both Gauthier and I, it was our first step into blockchain and Web3 with Avalanche. And all these years later, and we are still building here on AVAX, So that's funny. And so we quickly got interested in like a lot of people in the financial side of things, trying to earn some quick money. And we realized that beyond the speculation, there are this great technology of Web3 and blockchain. And so we went together to the first Avalanche Summit that was in Barcelona back in 2022. And back then we participated together in the hackathon that organized there. And this is actually when we decided that we wanted to quit our previous job and jump full time in crypto. And so that's what we did in early 2023. And we have been building ever since nonstop on Web3 and particularly in the Avalanche ecosystem.
Yeah, maybe we can talk a bit about like what we our first product, which is before Suzaku, we first started on the infra side, really kind of bringing our expertise from our previous jobs to Web3, which is how we operate blockchains at the infra level. And so we built something that is called Ash, which is like a SaaS for blockchain builders, basically. And we're still operating a bit of that, but basically we shifted to Suzaku, which is, we think, a bigger problem to tackle and an area where we can bring more help to builders.
Yeah, I really love the Avalanche network. It's for those who are again not so familiar, the Avalanche network, which is a bit different from many other ones, or as a layer zero, maybe in this case, is that a lot of people from the Avalanche community really try to solve big complex problems that eventually go into different dApps that make a lot of sense. It's a little bit less about noise, but really about, I would say, hard builders that are very loyal to the ecosystem and that have tackling these big problems. So just maybe before talking about Suzaku, let's talk a little bit of Avalanche because you guys are both experts. Why do you believe that Avalanche is really a blockchain that is very different from the others, and that you believe is gonna take a huge amount of market share and dApps are being built on right now as we're speaking?
Yeah. So Avalanche, as you said, is kind of very focused on like real use cases, and I think that they see a bit further down the road and say, okay, all this noise of Web3, like DeFi, fighting for the same money again and again is cool. But what we really want to build is like the use cases of the next 10 years, right? So Avalanche is built at the core to welcome like all the future use cases of blockchains, and to do that they need to scale. And to scale, basically, they chose horizontal scaling, which is we're not going to put everything on a single chain because it will never be enough. Because of Web3 will be so big, like everybody will come on chain, and so we need those multiple blockchains that work together. And I think it's the slogan is like tagline: many chains that feel like one. So Avalanche, many chains that feel like one. And from the get-go, they had this vision of multi-chains, and now we see that this vision is actually adopted by anyone. If you look at all the L2 stack, they're all building now their L2. Yeah, they're all trying to be multi-chain, like Arbitrum announcing, this Robinhood L2 with their stack, etc. And so we've seen that the vision of Avalanche never changed, but still they were right from the very beginning, like in early 2020, since they started building. And basically, with Avalanche, you get a blockchain in a network that is already here and that is already a top 10 network in the Web3 ecosystem. So you get access to all the bridges, all the centralized exchanges, all the liquidity of the ecosystem right away as a builder when you start your L1. And also, you get native interoperability with all those networks. So we really believe that there will be like a big network effect of all those actual use cases that come on chain. And we really see like some very cool use cases that like real builders actually using the blockchain for good reasons, and not only to do DeFi Ponzi's on top of DeFi Ponzi's. We have things in like gaming. Gaming is big on Avalanche. We have retail, like loyalty, for example, like loyalty points for users in different brands. There is infrastructure as well, like some people building decentralized storage using Avalanche. So all these use cases are actually, we believe in the near future will bring like real value to the ecosystem.
100%.
And yeah.
And so let's maybe dig dive now into Suzaku. So how does like Suzaku as protocol, how does it like lubricates in some way, or how does it make Avalanche shinier and better actually?
So Gauthier covered how Avalanche makes it easy to create your own dedicated blockchain to one specific or a couple of use cases. It's super easy to create your chain technically on Avalanche, but it's not easy to properly secure it and decentralize it. And so this is where we're stepping in with Suzaku. We want to make things easy for chains to bootstrap their chain security and their validator set. So effectively what we are building with Suzaku, you can kind of see it as a validator marketplace where Avalanche chains, Avalanche L1s that want to decentralize, can get access to quality professional node operators who in turn will be using their hardware to secure the Avalanche L1 chains and be rewarded. And so at the core of Suzaku is our staking modules. We make things very plug and play and configurable for Avalanche L1s to choose what kind of security model they want. So at the start, when you launch your Avalanche chains, most of the Avalanche L1s right now are actually using this model, which is called proof of authority, where you have one single entity that decide who can be a validator of their chain. Moving away from that, Avalanche L1s can go towards a proof of stake model, where they can require for validators to stake a certain amount of their own native token in order to become a validator. But we can also implement a dual staking model where you need to stake this amount of a native token and another amount of a more stable, more established blue chip token like BTC or ETH, for example, or AVAX. And so this is really at the core of Suzaku, this plug and play ability, if I can say, that allows L1 builders to progressively switch from a centralized proof of authority model to a decentralized permissionless model at their own pace and according to their own agenda.
100% hear you that. So that really is, if you could break it down into just one or two sentences, like for like anyone to understand the easiest way, what would be the best use cases for Suzaku for any dApps bidding on Avalanche?
Yeah, I guess like the like for most of the users, like the way they will see Suzaku is like the staking layer of Avalanche. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, anything staking will eventually happen on Suzaku for all the blockchains of the network. You'll be able to stake your token, get rewarded for that. And we also want it to eventually be a hub, like where your activity within all those L1s will be also rewarded. So um, trying to build some points program with also those L1s to incentivize not only staking but also activity like beneficial activity for those networks. And eventually we're also looking into like AVAX staking, right? AVAX liquid staking.
Of
That
course.
could be also pretty big once ETFs, AVAX ETFs are coming. I think like decisions are pending, but soon it will happen. So
Soon, of course. So let's say one of the dApps that I'm personally more involved with an Avalanche ecosystem as a user is Off the Grid, right? Which is one of, I still believe, one of the best game, if not the best game on any Web3. So how would it work with, for example, Guns, which is their token?
So off the grid is a good example. It's actually one of the most used Avalanche chains in terms of active wallets and transactions, I think. So where off the grid use the Suzaku protocol, they could choose to have a portion of their validator set, like the weight of their validator network, say 50%. They could say, okay, we're going to open 50% of the weight of the network to permissionless validators. And then they will also decide what it takes to become a validator of Gunzilla, which is the blockchain powering of the grid game. And so, for
Mm-hmm.
example, they could say, okay, you need to stake this amount of guns, which is their native token, like the in-game currency, as well as the gas token for the Gunzilla chain. But they could also say that you need to stake this amount of AVAX or BTC, or even potentially you need to own an NFT that represents a node license that give you the right to validate the chain, the Gunzilla chain.
Very cool.
And so all of this, like I mentioned before, all of this can be customized. And what we are bringing for these Avalanche L1s, such as Off the Grid or potentially the FIFA chain in the future, we have just announced that we'll be working with Dexalot as well for
Yeah,
Suzaku. We are bringing them with these tools to not have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to validator management and staking, and just use the modules that they want in the way that they want.
that's really cool. I hope that every listener is understanding where these guys are going. Um, Maybe you guys want to talk about roughly a little bit about your roadmap. That would be great to understand. Again, it's really amazing to see the how you guys you're going with the network, the infra play, and how this is going through a nice story of just adding more services and way to build Suzaku in a sustainable way.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. So maybe we can actually start. I think we didn't mention it, but basically Suzaku was born like in the Avalanche Codebase accelerator. So we like entered early 2024 there. It actually we came up with our previous product I already mentioned, and then we came out with Suzaku, which was kind of the evolution of what we're building, bringing more value to the ecosystem. And since then we released our dApp, like restaking dApp in last October. And like people since then have been farming points on Suzaku. And actually, if you restaked your GG Avax on like SwissBorg, you actually also farm points. And so you will be eligible to an airdrop that will be very soon. And From there, basically, we built the protocol, which is a very big piece of infrastructure. We have now done all the audits. Like all the audits are finished. So we are right now deploying in testnet for like about 1.5, 2 months of testnet. And the goal is to be live, by the early Q4 of this year, where Avalanche L1 will actually start decentralizing with Suzaku. And so people will be able to stake, earn rewards, and all this, all this activity. And basically from then on a rolling basis, we'll have L1s join Suzaku, and eventually, rewards the community as a whole, the Suzaku community. And we're also like exploring other areas for next projects. As I said, we're exploring the AVAX liquid staking as well side of things. And we're also looking right now into stablecoins. Like stablecoin are very interesting because they have like attached treasury bill yield. So
Okay.
what we want to try to do is like leverage this yield, because so we on one side we'll have stable coins for securing those networks through restaking, and we can try to leverage the treasury bill yield to actually subsidize like all the infrastructure, so that in the end everyone ends up paying less basically. And so this is something we're also trying to poke around with. Cannot say much more. It's like at the ideation stage. But
course.
basically we're always
That's alpha right here, I'm telling you.
yeah
Good to
alpha.
say. Good to hear.
And so yeah, basically we're also gonna expand kind of this different staking modules, as Leo said, that are available on Suzaku. Right now, mostly liquid staking and restaking are available, but in the future, we'll be able to stake anything basically. But this is more like depending on what the other ones want, right? The other one that
Of
joins
course,
Suzaku
yeah.
wants this, will maybe develop something custom for this other one.
Perfect. I mean, now Leo and Gautier, let's talk a little bit about the token itself, and let's maybe then conclude with the sales that's happening shortly.
Yeah. So at the center of the Suzaku ecosystem would be the SUS token, right? Which will be a stakeable asset, just like SAVAX or GGAVAX or BTCB is actually already stakeable on our DApp. And so by staking the SUS token, you expose yourself to the broader L1 ecosystem, like the Avalanche L1 ecosystem. And so what we have in plan for the SUS token is potential airdrops of the L1 native tokens that will be using Suzaku for decentralization, as well as passive rewards from like earning more SUS on top of the SUS token that you have staked.
Yeah. And coming next, it's also, governance, of course, at some point when we will want to take big decisions for the community. We can think of the fee switch, for example, right? That is a big decision for every token, which is at what point do we start redistributing the fees of the protocol to the stakers of the token? So this will be one. And we also might at some point launch our own chain, like by our own team, right? Our own Avalanche L1 that could be used for some infrastructure. And eventually, if we do that, our token will also be used, of course, for staking and gas for this
Yes.
L1. This is more like of a long-term, long-term
perspective. Thing. Yeah, very, very smart. I'm getting the 360 right now.
And maybe another piece of alpha for the listeners. The SUS TG will be happening not soon, but very soon.
Right, I heard that. Really cool, by the way. Tweet I just saw last week was Messari was chilling the project, which was really cool.
Yep.
For those who don't know, Messari, again, it's probably one of the most credible sources of crypto. And that was definitely a really nice endorsement. So congrats to that, which is really cool. So the alpha deal is happening right away tomorrow morning, guys. Within the SwissBorg app. Tell us a little bit, Gautier and Leo. Like, obviously, it's a great opportunity. You guys, I've been following you guys for a long time. We've been connected through as well 50 partners, which is really cool. Maybe last little thing for the sales, if you could share. And obviously the terms and conditions, I'll share them after, and it's all based on your different premium tiers, as you guys know.
So you will be able to buy the Suzaku token. It will be 100% unlocked at TG, which is pretty cool. And TG, as Leo said, is coming very soon. So this summer. About the token, we cannot mention all the use cases, right? And what is cool is we're working hard with the SwissBorg teams to make sure that you will be able to stake it day one. So as soon as you get your tokens in the SwissBorg app, you'll be able to stake them directly from the app and start earning rewards. And also, basically, as soon as we said, like the first L1s launch, you'll also be eligible to some pretty cool rewards. As we go. And I think it's a good way to expose yourself to the Avalanche ecosystem. I think we are pretty well positioned to kind of grab, the growth of this ecosystem. So if you want to expose yourself there, I think it's a good opportunity. Like the FDV is not so high.
Yeah, if you're bullish AVAX, you're bullish Suzaku, basically.
Yep, I 100% agree on that. So that's the easiest way to finish this fantastic interview. I'm bullish Avalanche, and therefore I'm bullish Suzaku. So this definitely, I think so. It's a great one. And thank you so much for your time, Leo. Thank you so much for your time, Gauthier. And I'm sure our paths will cross again. And very fortunate that again this alpha deal is happening within SwissBorg network. And looking forward to this tomorrow. So thank you very much for your time, guys, and speak soon.
Thanks, Cyrus.
Thanks
for having us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah. See you soon.
Beautiful burgers while traveling, still have to do this wonderful Pow Wow. Why? Because I love you and I love doing it. Let's face it, we're entering very nice markets. I think we're going to SwissBorg as well. We had a very good week last week about the executives. We're about to release the H1 report that you're going to be able to read and try to figure out what has been done in the whole entire H1, but as well what's going to be happening a bit in H2. One of the big focus is really the business model and how we could reshape it and especially empower the Borg token. We talked about it multiple times. This month, we will not have our fantastic monthly assembly. We'll conduct it in September because we really want to focus on this one big topic, which has been really in our mind, which is going to bring the biggest, I would say, utility and buy pressure to the SwissBorg token. So that's why we're really reserving this for September and make the best out of it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this powwow. Thank you so much again for listening. Please subscribe, like the channel. And again, shout out for Dan and Benji for last week. It was a really great one. Great to see you guys there. And hope you guys, if you guys enjoy it more, well, let's have Dan and Benji more often. Thumbs up for that. Okay, take care. Bye.